Hey, what is up, everybody? Michael Crump back here again, talking about the latest and the greatest in PlayStation, homebrew news, and much, much more. So, one of the most requested topics that I have had here recently has been all about Cturt. And really, the really biggest news with Cturt was that he released this tweet right here, and it says, "For a variety of reasons, it is time for me to move on from the PlayStation hacking scene." He says he is thankful for all of the people that has helped with this hobby over the years, and it's definitely helped him with his security career. So I wanted to provide a little bit of additional commentary on what I think about this, and also giving a little bit of information about what I know from the past. So obviously I've been around for quite some time in the PlayStation scene, and so I've gathered together a little bit of data that may help a little bit with people wondering, what does this news mean? Does this mean that everything's over for the PlayStation hacking scene, or what happens next? So in speaking entirely just with his contributions to the PlayStation 4, obviously one of the absolute biggest ones was that he created the original jailbreak for firmware 1.76. And that's really where I think a lot of people really started getting into PlayStation homebrew and starting to jailbreak their consoles and doing all kinds of stuff with that. Obviously, he did quite a bit of work with other Sony systems, but again, just speaking with the PlayStation 4, that was one of the bigger accomplishments. Now, a few other things that may provide a little bit more context on him is that he put in here some of the highlights for me were being the first to publicly hack the PS4 kernel by porting over an existing exploit without any kernel dump, looking for PS4 free BSD kernel vulnerabilities, and successfully finding and exploiting my first 0-day free DVD boot, so defeating the copy protection of the PlayStation 2 to allow unmodified consoles to run burned disk. And the next one here is Master Core, which is something I've covered in depth. Obviously, this would allow a PS4 that is unpatched or a PS5 to be able to run PS2 game ISOs. The last one here is working with the PlayStation team through the bug bounty program and being awarded several 10K bounties. Without a doubt, Cturt has made a significant amount of progress for the PlayStation homebrew community, and I just wanted to say right off the bat, I'm absolutely grateful for all of that. Now, I do also want to call out that this year has been a bit of a challenging year, I would also say, for Cturt. So he announced right here on March the 23rd that he is basically done with the PlayStation hacking scene. And then really just last month in February, he wrote that, "Hey, this will be my last month at Google. My decision was unrelated to the layoffs." And keep in mind that Cturt has been around for a very long time in the Sony PlayStation world. Now, in February for him to quit his job, and then for March to say he's quitting the PlayStation homebrew scene, you may be wondering what's some of the things that he's going to be up to now. And obviously we can see from his GitHub that he's working on some free BSD related exploits there. Now, this does leave a lot of questions that are still unanswered. One of them mainly being that we have the first part to Master Core, which was hacking the PS4, PS5 through the PS2 Emulator, but this came out in September the 14th, 2022, and really what we can also see right here was that it says see part 2 to be published, and well, if he has left the PlayStation scene, does that mean we're never going to get the part 2 to Master Core, where it really, covers this next part of the exploit chain? Now, obviously, we do have Macaulay's implementation of MasterCore, and we're already using that today. There's actually been all kinds of enhancements since Macaulay has taken that over, but I did want to call out that this does leave us in a bit of a unstable area because we don't know if we're ever going to get part 2. And really, if you make an announcement, saying that you're done with the PlayStation hacking scene, I really wouldn't expect that post to be updated. But, and yes, there is always a but. For those of you that don't know, back in December of 2015, okay, I'm showing how old I am, Cturt said that he was quitting the PlayStation scene before. And so if we head over to PSXHACKS, and we look at this post right here, it says PS4 hacker Cturt stops further PlayStation 4 hacking research. And so now this thread right here was absolutely copied and pasted from IRC. And you can see by just doing a search for Cturt, all of the places where Cturt writes something. So some of it is, kind of funny to read through, but if we scroll down into this article and we go down to the bottom, we can see it kind of ended with Cturt saying, "I'm feeling very paranoid right now. I deleted all my emails. Time to get off the internet," which may have been a joke because he was talking about removing some of his code. Again, you can go through and read this yourself. But what was interesting down here was that at this point in the conversation, we basically see him cutting out of this, and then we see the kind of the wrap up of Cturt left the PS4 scene, and they provide a link to this address right here. And if we tried to go to this address today, well, what we would see is that tweet has already been deleted by Cturt himself. So going back over to the article, you'll see that there is also, what does that tweet say? And somebody uploaded a version of it, which we'll look at in just a second. And it just said he decided he'll completely stop any further PS4 research. Again, this was in 2015. And you can see a few of the remaining comments in here. And really, there wasn't that much that was left to talk about. So if we go to this image right here, we will see that it says, "I have decided that I will completely stop with any further PS4 research." So that basically is the tweet that was now deleted. Now, obviously, a news site that I absolutely love and trust is this one right here. I saw that they had really mentioned that same exact thing, saying it's worth noting that at the time, the hacker had already announced he would stop working on PlayStation hacking, and that turned out not to be entirely true. And so this link goes over here, which provides a much better screenshot, and really you can even see the likes that was on it. So here is what that says. Again, it's the same thing. I've decided that I will completely stop with any further PS4 research, and it does show that this was posted on December the 17th, 2015. Again, so I'm really just calling this out to say that people sometimes may be going through different life events. And well, the first part of them may be like, oh, I need to quit a bunch of things that I was doing in the past. Maybe those things aren't making me happy anymore, as they maybe try to figure out themselves. So like quitting Google in February, quitting the PlayStation scene in March. Those are two pretty drastic decisions to make altogether. But obviously, I wish him the absolute best for everything that he is going through or may be going through. But I just greatly appreciate all of the work that he's done so far. And I thought that I would just spend a little bit of time shedding some light on this topic. Now, again, you can head over to his GitHub repo, and really for the most part, you can see that there has been the most work on the free BSD source code. And then he made a few updates over here to his blog. And in particular, he made some commits over here to MasterCore. And for the most part, it was really just kind of fixing up some text. So anyway, I will be keeping an eye on this. And if Cturt watches this, then I just wanted to say thank you so very much for all of your efforts, and I wish you the absolute best success in the future. That being said, Michael, out.